This short video will cover the steps necessary to properly set up your CIRS Dynamic Phantom for operation. It is advisable that you view this video and read the operator manual before attempting to operate the Phantom. Before opening the case, check the 3 inertial shock indicators on the side of the case. These indicators will show when a case may have been dropped in transit and can indicate the potential for damage to the contents of the case. Non-activated sensors display a red arrow. If the container receives a shock exceeding 25 Gs of force, the sensor display arrows will change from red to blue. If a sensor has been activated and reads blue, take extra care in inspecting the components as they are unpacked. If there is any damage to the packaging, case, containers, foam, or components, or if there is any trouble with initial operation, immediately contact your supplier and keep all packaging for carrier inspection. After opening the case, remove the foam wall partition from the case and set aside. In the following order, remove the Phantom body, controller unit, cables, lung rods, and the base actuator assembly and set aside. Before assembling, inspect all parts and refer to the pack list in the case to verify all the parts have been received. In the unlikely event a listed part is missing, contact your supplier immediately. To start the assembly, place the base plate on a table or flat work surface and carefully position the base plate to slightly overhang the edge of the work surface. This allows for easy access to the holes for attaching the Phantom body. Position the body on the base plate with the hole for lung inserts on the same side as the actuator rod, like shown. Place one screw through the bottom of the base plate and into the Phantom body. Partially tighten, leaving some flexibility for minor alignment adjustments later in the assembly process. Continue until all the screws are in place. Take extra care not to cross-thread the screws and risk damaging the Phantom body. Insert the lung rod into the Phantom body. Ensure that the screw hole on the lung rod is aligned with the screw hole on the actuator rod. Use the thumb screw provided to secure the lung rod to the actuator rod. Again, take extra care not to cross-thread the screw to avoid damaging the Phantom. Push the lung rod in the inferior direction towards the motor box until it stops. Visually check the gap between the rod and the hole in the lung. Adjust the Phantom body left and right such that the gap appears consistent around the rod and the rod moves with minimum friction through the Phantom body. Repeat this process with the rod fully extended in the superior direction. Check the gap on the inferior motor box side of the body as well. Once aligned, finish tightening the screws on the underside of the Phantom. The gating actuator is shipped in the horizontal position, which is designed to simulate the diaphragm motion. For chest wall simulation, move the gating device 90 degrees to the vertical position by loosening the 2 thumb screws and repositioning as shown. Transfer the Phantom to the imaging or treatment couchtop, taking care to use the handle provided. Align the Phantom body to the ISO center using positioning lasers. For rods requiring detector cables or target plugs to extend beyond the rod and Phantom body, it is best practice to position these detectors and targets prior to attaching the rod to the actuator. Ensure position did not change during connection to the actuator rod or Phantom alignment. In these next steps, it is imperative that you follow the connection steps exactly as they are presented. The Dynamic Phantom has a number of sensitive electronic components. All cable connections must be made with the power off to the system. Making any connections while the power is on may result in permanent damage to the system. Plug the DB25 cable to the back of the controller into the back of the actuator. Plug the DB9 cable from the gating device to the back of the actuator. Attach the PC communication cable to the back of the controller. A 75-foot cable is provided to allow you to position a computer outside of the scanning or treatment area. Once all elements are connected, plug the power cord into the back of the controller, and then to the power outlet. The controller has a universal power supply compatible with 110 to 250 volts. A plug adapter may be required depending on your country. The system is now ready to power on. When the system is powered on, it will automatically go through its homing routine, which will place the target in the home position and align the laser marks on the outside of the Phantom body. Once the homing routine is completed, you can now operate your Phantom from the motion control software on your computer. At the end of your session, the first and most important step is to safely power down the system and unplug the power cord from the power source. This will ensure that all power is off before disconnecting any other components. Failure to power down before disconnecting other components may permanently damage the Phantom. If you have any further questions or concerns, please contact CIRS or your supplier.